On my birthday, my billionaire grandpa smiled and said, "So, how's the apartment?" I blinked and asked, "What apartment?" Okay, prepare yourself because this is the story of how my 27th birthday, a day that should have been joyous, became the absolute most shocking, gut-wrenching moment of my entire life. It was the night my seemingly normal existence was brutally torn apart, revealing a betrayal so profound it felt like a punch to the soul. My name is Caitlin, and for years I lived what I truly thought was a normal, independent life. I was a graphic designer in downtown Chicago, busting my butt just to cover bills and maybe, just maybe, treat myself to a nice coffee. My apartment was nothing fancy, a slightly run-down two-bedroom I shared with my roommate, Olivia. Rent was brutal, even split, but that was just city living, right? We made it a home though, with mismatched furniture and walls covered in art prints. And despite having a billionaire grandfather, I was fiercely proud of making my own way. My parents, Harold and Diane, lived a completely different life in the suburbs. A 5-bedroom house with a pool, lavish vacations twice a year. I always assumed Dad's senior position at an insurance company, and Mom's real estate work simply meant they were doing well. They never offered financial help, always emphasizing the importance of working for what you want. When I graduated from art school with nearly $70,000 in student loans, they congratulated me on taking my first steps into adulthood. While other parents were helping with down payments or a few months of rent, mine handed me a copy of Dave Ramsey and told me building character through struggle was important. And you know what? I never truly resented them for it. I was determined to prove I could make it. But, yeah, there were definitely times when things got really tight that I just wondered why they seemed so reluctant to help, especially when they'd roll up in a brand new luxury car or talk about their latest kitchen remodel. Then there was Grandpa Walter. He was an enigma. He built his fortune in real estate from absolutely nothing, creating one of the largest property companies in the Midwest. Stern, intimidating, he rarely showed up at family functions. When he did, everyone walked on eggshells. But for some reason, he always had a soft spot for me. On the rare occasions we spoke, he'd ask thoughtful questions about my design work and actually listen to my answers. My cousin, Natalie, was the only one in our generation who seemed to genuinely benefit from the family wealth. She had a trust fund that gave her a very comfortable lifestyle, never working a day in her life, constantly posting photos from exotic locations. At family gatherings, her stories about shopping sprees and vacations felt deliberately designed to highlight the vast difference in our situations. The week before my birthday had been particularly brutal. The design agency I worked for lost a major client, and I was among 5 employees who got laid off. With just enough savings for maybe 2 months, I was in full-blown panic mode about how I'd make rent while hunting for a new job in a cutthroat field. So when my parents called, insisting on taking me out for a fancy birthday dinner, I tried to decline. I suggested something simple, take out at my apartment, but they were adamant. 27 is a special birthday, Caitlin. It deserves a proper celebration. Looking back, their insistence makes twisted sense now. There had been signs, little things I brushed aside, like when I mentioned getting a master's degree, and my dad immediately shut down the conversation, saying I had enough student debt. Full story on the channel. Link below. Click now and watch what happened next.